Can you explain the 7 principles of software testing? Sure. The 7 principles are like a mindset for good testing. 1. Testing shows presence of defects. 2. Exhaustive testing is impossible. 3. Early testing saves time and money. 4. Defect clustering. 5. Pesticide paradox. 6. Testing is context dependent. 7. Absence of errors fallacy. They remind us that testing is about smart strategy, not just brute force. What does testing shows the presence of defects mean? It means that testing can reveal bugs, but it can't prove the software has no bugs. Even if tests pass, that doesn't guarantee the product is perfect, just that we haven't found issues in the tested scenarios. Why is exhaustive testing considered impossible? There are infinite combinations of inputs, environments, and user behaviors. Testing everything is unrealistic. Instead, we focus on risk-based and priority-based testing. The most critical paths first. How does early testing help reduce cost and effort? Catching bugs early, in requirements, design, or during development, is cheaper than finding them after release. Early testing helps prevent costly rework and surprises. Can you explain the defect clustering principle? Defect clustering means that most defects tend to be found in a few areas of the system. These hotspots might be due to complex code or rushed development. Knowing this helps us focus testing where it matters most. What is the pesticide paradox in testing? The pesticide paradox happens when we run the same tests over and over. They stop finding new bugs. To fight this, we regularly update tests, add new scenarios, and do exploratory testing. Why is testing context dependent? Different projects need different testing. A banking app needs strong security tests, while a game might focus more on user experience and performance. Context drives test strategy. What does the absence of errors fallacy refer to? It means fixing all bugs doesn't guarantee the product is right. You could have 0 bugs, but still fail to meet the user's needs or business goals. Quality is more than bug-free code. How do these principles guide your daily QA work? They help me test smarter, not harder. I focus on risk, start testing early, rotate test cases, and communicate that testing helps find issues, not prove perfection. It helps with planning and reporting too. Can you give an example of how you use the early testing principle in a project? Yes. On a healthcare app, we started reviewing requirements and user flows early. We caught missing edge cases before development began, saving tons of time and rework. How do you handle a situation where testing seems endless? If testing starts feeling endless, I check if we're repeating low-value tests. I refocus on risk areas, review coverage, and align with the team on what's good enough for release. How do you avoid falling into the pesticide paradox trap? I try to regularly update test data, vary inputs, and add exploratory testing to uncover new issues. I also keep track of past bugs to inform new test cases. How do you decide what kind of testing is suitable for a specific project? I look at the domain, risks, timelines, and goals. For example, short-term MVPs might need quick exploratory tests, while critical systems demand full regression and automation. How can understanding defect clustering help with test prioritization? If we see that 80% of bugs come from 20% of the code, We focus testing efforts there. More coverage, more negative testing, and even pair with devs to improve code quality. What do you do when a product seems bug-free but still isn't usable? That's a classic absence of errors case. The app might not crash, but it could have poor UX or miss key features. I always test against user expectations and business value, not just for bugs. How do you explain these principles to non-technical stakeholders? I avoid jargon. I'll say something like, we focus testing where problems are most likely. We start early to catch things faster. And even if no bugs are found, we still check if the product meets user needs.